So the set 10188 Death Star is a really cool set indeed, released in 2008 and, well, it stayed in production all the way up to the end of 2015. It's a really cool set, but back in 2012, 9-year-old me couldn't quite afford the £250 price tag. Fortunately, however, LEGO had an alternative. That alternative being this set 9676, the Planet Series 1 Death Star, which compared to the price of the Death Star 10188 being 250, and well, this set here being only $9.99, you can quite clearly see that this is probably the coolest Death Star, slash, at least alternatively. It's also a set that most people probably forget exists. Most people, when they probably think Death Star, automatically think of the 10188, the remake that set got in 2016, and the original panelled up UCS Death Star from 2005. But here we're going to look at one of the Planet Series released in January of 2012. Let's get into the minifigure. So the first and only minifigure in the set is a TIE Interceptor pilot. Fun fact, it's exactly the same as the one from the 2010 TIE Defender, only this one has something that they only done in 2012 and 2013 has a face. I know some of them have the full face now, but this one has the balaclava. There's also on the Scout Troopers, the Stormtroopers, and just those kind of figures from the 2013 era. So yeah. Also kind of basic, does not have any leg printing. The helmet itself is quite basic as well. It's literally a reuse of another figure, but with the changed head, which is, I mean, it's not a bad head by any means, it's quite cool, to be honest. It's something I wish they could maybe continue doing. Standard blaster, basic torso print. It's not going to be full of detail, but it's a cool minifigure nonetheless. And you know, it's another one to add to your Imperial collection. Let's get into the mini build. So this is the build you get. It's a little stand for your pilot minifigure and the TIE Interceptor, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to remove the pilot. We're going to remove the Interceptor from the stand, which is quite easy. So on this little piece that allows it to turn, so we're just going to go up. It's actually held in by one of these little blue pins, so nothing too crazy, but I mean, it's not a bad build for the money you're paying for this. This is quite cool. It's like, obviously it's not microfighter scale, but it's quite cool. You can hold it from here, it's kind of sociable. Not too bad. I mean, it gets a detail, like little uses binocular pieces as guns. I'm pretty sure some of the real TIE fighters have done that. Got a nice little kind of printed piece in the middle. I'm quite happy with this whole build. Not too much to say on it, to be honest. You know, the wings are adjustable. But yeah, still pretty cool, and obviously it connects to the stand. The stand itself, we'll just get into here. Obviously you've got your pilot on it, you've got a little kind of blue Technic kind of pin that it goes into, and your little stand here says TIE Interceptor, TIE Fighter Pilot and Death Star with a little Lego Star Wars again. That is printed, which is pretty cool, and of course you got your room for your pilot. It's a fairly basic stand, and it's quite easy to take on and off. As you can see, I can just plug it in here. We're ready to go. So I think it's time to get into the main attraction of this set, which is the Death Star itself. So one of the coolest things to come out of the Planet series is something that's not even a planet, rather it's a planet killer. It's the Death Star, which is really cool. So it's the same mould they use for all of them. In fact, I'm actually going to quickly go get the Naboo just to put next to each other. So all of them, apart from the Death Star, use the same coloured mould. No, not coloured mould, for the most part, just use like the same mould but differently coloured. Whereas the Death Star has all these kind of bump, like you can feel all those little lines that you see can be felt, and obviously there's a little indent where the dish is, but just thought I'd show the two of them side by side, just to give you an idea of what that's like. And of course it can separate into two pieces. It's got this bit on the bottom, it's like a stand, you know, just so that it's not rolling around, because if you were to remove that, it would, you know, easily fall over. And something that I've personally never done with the planet sets, but you could do with the planet sets, is if this little piece at the top here, I'll show you that. You could hang it from your ceiling with string or something, which is kind of a cool idea. And let's try to do this. I'm not very good at opening these. Doing that will release the planet. But you know, there's the inside of the mould again. You can see how this one has that kind of different piece inside of it, but again, the Death Star is probably the coolest one out of them all because it's the Death Star. But yeah, it's really cool. You can see the little details and the little line that goes around. As much as it's a little bit of separation, it basically makes a little trench that the X-Wings fly around, which is again quite cool. So let's get into those instructions. So here we have the instructions, which is kind of cool. You know, you got your pilot there, you got the set number, you got the Darth Maul logo. Because 2012 was the year of Darth Maul. You got Death Star there, your interceptor and explosion. On the back you got your standard wing thing, and even cool, we've got an ad for Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars from back in the day, which is really cool. See if we go back a page, there should be like some stuff showing off other 2012 sets. A whole bunch of the minifigures from the January 2012 lineup. Very, very nostalgic. Ace Assault 2 year. And another thing for some of the sets. See, I own the X-Wing here, and I own the Droid Escape. Those are the other two here that I actually own, but I am planning to make reviews on all of the other ones. So here we are already. Again, there's not really that much to talk about with the planet sets. For me, it's kind of like the diorama sets. It's what you see is what you get. It's the main part. You know, it doesn't have any major play features other than maybe swishing around that little TIE interceptor, or you know, opening up the Death Star. It's kind of like the main features that you get in this set. I really do like these sets. As I say, it's a shame that the planet sets never continued after 2013. Also these were replaced by the microfighters, and I'd like to see if they would, you know, replace the microfighters with something, because we've had microfighters since the start of 2014, which, oh, it pains me to say, that's nearly 9 years. But do I recommend this set? Actually, yes, I do recommend this set. See, the Planet series sets, apart from the final series, which is series 4, which are a little bit expensive and hard to find, majority of the Planet sets are like, you can buy them new for less than 50, and if you want them used, you can buy them 20 or under. I personally paid 15 for this from a, you know, vendor at a Comic-Con event, and these, you would have seen it in the whole video from last week. But yeah, really, really cool. I 100% recommend this. The Planet series are something that we might not get again, so yeah. So a little note here is, I don't know if I'm uploading on Friday. That's unconfirmed. As we know, I don't always upload on Friday. Figure Friday seems to be a dead series at this point. But next week on the Monday we are having some work done. Like we're getting some, like, you know, people coming in to change out windows and stuff. So, and then Tuesday, depending on if everything's back to normal, you know, there might be a review or a video, but I actually could not tell you right now. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Classic review. We seem to be knocking a lot of these 2012 sets out recently, so yeah. Hopefully the next one is another one of these planet sets. I'd like to do another planet set. See you guys when I see you.